with Gerald Sinstad.
Well, this hasn't been vintage Arsenal by any means. Very much a patch team, of course. That's Overmars now to Diawara. And just blocked off by Derry. The referee will give the free kick. Big man's put himself about a bit. Dennis Bergkamp having a bit of problem with the sun. It's low, coming in between the stands there. And Vieira! Vieira scores, Arsenal lead. Not too much problem with the sun for Dennis Bergkamp. The free kick floated onto the head of Patrick Vieira over Kelly, and that's 1-0. Sun beginning to disappear a bit, and that'll make it a little bit easier. It's a foul by Bold. It's a little nudge spotted by referee Peter Jones. Now Devlin. And Marcelo! Free kick was quickly taken, and the tall Brazilian has got Sheffield United back on terms. We've only had 3 minutes of the second half. So that's opened the game up. Free kick was taken quickly, and Devlin's cross was excellent, and the header was perfect. Marcelo. And now Morris, challenge from Grimondi. Nothing from the referee. Play goes on. Morris looks as though he's in a bit of trouble, but meanwhile it's Vivas playing it back for Arsenal, and then Grimondi knocking it long. I think Morris is in a bit of trouble, and yes, Kelly has spotted it and has knocked the ball out so Morris can have some treatment. Ankle problem maybe. Well, there's going to be no more match for Lee Morris. Bobby Ford will come on in his place. Just under a quarter of an hour left, and off we go again. And what is happening here? This is Kanu to Overmars, and Overmars has put the ball in the net, and Sheffield United are furious. Well, I think Parlour must surely have been trying to get that ball back to Kelly, or out of play for a goal kick. Certainly that's the way these things are normally conducted. But look, here's Kanu, absolutely clear, collects the ball, sees Overmars, and Overmars puts it in the net. Now, as far as the laws are concerned, nothing's gone wrong. Steve Bruce looks as though he wants to call his players off, but it's only a convention that you give the ball back, and I don't see what the referee can do here. There's nothing in the laws that say you have to give the ball back, and Arsenal didn't. And if that goal stands and they go through to the last 8, as they well might, there'll be a huge controversy.
It was unfortunately an accident. I think spirit-wise we didn't want to cheat because we wanted to give the ball back, and Kanu didn't know what happened. He didn't understand it all because he's a very fair player. That's why we are unfortunately scored a second goal, but spirit-wise is not right. We offered to replay the game and to replay it here because we have the feeling we didn't win it like we want to win our games.
Who did you make that offer to?
I make it publicly, not just now. I make it to nobody until now, but I just think if there is a problem, we replay the game without any problem because we feel that the goal we have scored is not right.
It's an accident. I saw the ball, and then I passed the ball and we scored. So for me, I didn't know that the man was injured. So I just saw the ball and then I passed the ball and it was a goal. So for me, it's a big mistake. So and it happened, and the referee didn't disallow the goal. So it happened and it happened. It's football, but I'm sorry. So
we have appealed to the FA, and Arsenal have said they would play the replay. I believe that's the right decision. I think I wouldn't have liked, if it was one of my teams, wouldn't have liked to have won a game of football, especially an FA Cup 5th round replay, where we've got something like 6,000 people travelling down from Sheffield in a big, huge game for our club. To win a game like that, if it had been mine, I would have done exactly the same thing, and expect that of Arsenal, yes.
Well, the appeal to the FA was heard. Within an hour, the FA decided that the match will be played again. We actually heard a manager there saying today that unfortunately we scored a second goal. You've never heard that before in my life. But what did you make of it all, Alan? Do you think it's right that the game should be played again?
I think the whole thing's unfortunate. If you analyse it, Sheffield United have gone to hybrid, they've been magnificent. They've played out their skins to go there and get a draw. But I believe that if you take the power away from the officials, you're creating a dangerous precedent. And they've created it here now. And the other thing about the FA making the decision within an hour, I think is very, very strange as well.
So let's have a look at the incident once again.
Well, it looks to me like Parla has thrown it back to Alan Kelly. You know, and Kanu comes in, Overmars makes a run, and the ball's in the back of the net. And you've already said, within the laws of the game, you've got to allow the goal. You know, the referee can't chalk that goal off. And as I say, if you take the power away from the officials, you're in big trouble.
But by replaying the match, Trevor, it looks as though justice will be done, won't it?
I think it's the right decision, personally. I mean, when Parla throws it in, I think it's very close to Kanu, and then Overmars darts in looking for the goal. So if that decision hadn't been taken, we'd be here sort of almost looking at those three players and saying, well, you know, they've cheated that particular goal. But I think, to Arsenal's credit, they've looked at it shrewdly and sensibly and said, look, I think this has got to be replayed. And let's be fair, their disciplinary record is bad. They don't want the wrath of the nation on them going through the cup like that. So I think it's an important decision for Arsenal, for the fact that they look as if they want to show fair play. The only thing I would say is that naturally you've got the gate receipts. And I think both clubs...
They can earn from it again, you mean?
They can earn from it again, and from that point of view, I'd like to see perhaps the actual expenses covered by both clubs. Why not donate it to children's charities in Sheffield and North London?
Trevor, what would have happened if Sheffield United had scored a second goal? What do you think would have happened?
But if
Would Arsene Wenger come out and say, right, all right, well, our second goal shouldn't have counted, you win the tie?
Yeah, I think justice would have probably been done. Steve Bruce. It's Radio 2, I'm going mad. Steve Bruce would probably have thought that justice was done then if they'd scored a goal, and he would have got a draw and they would have gone back to Bramall Lane and had a replay.
So at what stage do we say in the future a game should be replayed? Because every Saturday in life now, you're going to get people saying,
yes, that's
hey, wait a minute, we've got a problem here.
Arsenal were on the receiving end, weren't they, of a similar sort of situation a couple of years ago, weren't they?
That's right, this is against Blackburn. And it's played down the line. Now Sutton is going to press Winterburn, when really he should let Winterburn have the ball. And Winterburn's got to give a corner away. And then Blackburn scored from this corner. And at the end of the season, see, and this is what happens, you see. Blackburn scored from that corner, and Arsenal at the end of the season miss out in the Champions League.
But it wasn't as direct as that. This goal today.
It's a similar sort of thing.
But what about millions of youngsters watching this evening? I mean, you can't let them see somebody get away with an incident like that. I think if the opportunity is there legally, then, and both clubs agree, let it be replayed. I think football will come out of it excellent.